Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts. Today we are going to do some springy type of color here. This is some really pretty Merino and Tencel blend from one of my favorite farms, Bauer Family Farm. They do not have a website though. I get this at Sheep and Wool and the Alpaca Festival. So this is about 4.2 ounces, and let's open this up and see what we want to do. Time out for Finn. And we're back. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. So Merino and Tencel is a beautiful blend. Actually, I think it would be a great blend for socks, but we just did a sock spin, so we're gonna do something different. The Tencel is an eco fiber. It's called the green fiber, and it has, it's made from wood pulp and ecologically safe process, similar to cellulose, but it will break down safely when it's disposed of. But it's actually really good in a blend because it is strong and it's soft and it wears better than the polyester and the viscose stuff. And it looks like silk. It takes the dye up differently. It doesn't take it up quite as much, so you can kind of see it through here, and it looks really pretty. It gives you the kind of a silk look to it, and it feels kind of silky. It doesn't feel quite like silk, but it doesn't feel like the poly stuff that you can recognize right away. Let's see what we have here and how this is dyed and see what we want to do. I haven't had the full use of my fiber table. I moved my drum carder off so I could do this, because I've been doing little tiny ones lately. All right. So this is basically just going in repeats. So it's going to give you kind of a stripey pattern. If you spun this straight, you're going to get stripes. I like stripes, but I don't know that I want to do stripes right now. So let's think about this for a second. So if we spin this straight and chain ply it, you're going to get stripes. If I split it in half, you'll still get stripes, but it'll be a much more subtle stripe as the color kind of slowly changes here, and it would probably be pretty cool. The other thing that we could do would be a fractal, and this would actually be a pretty good idea for a fractal. Maybe we should do a fractal. We haven't done one in a while. The only thing that I think about with fractal is if you mix too much purple and brown, or purple and green together, it looks sort of brown. All right, I have decided. Let's do a fractal. I was thinking about the brown, the purple and the green kind of getting brown together, but I think it'll be okay. Here's like a little, I just take them and twist them together just to get a sense for what it's gonna look like. And I think that'll actually look really pretty. For those of you who don't like barber pulling, now's your chance to look away. I like it all, so I am not a hater of the barber pole. So let's do this. I'm gonna divide this in half. So when you're doing a fractal spin, basically what we're doing is you're gonna have one piece that's long, and these color repeats are gonna stay this defined length throughout. The second half, I'm going to divide into smaller pieces so that my color repeats are going to be shorter. So I'm going to divide into thin, long strips, and then the color repeats are going to be shorter, so they're going to be interspersed with this longer one that's going to be going through the background. I'm just going to go ahead and peel off what I feel like is half. If I am off a little bit on this, I'll usually use the slightly heavier side if it's not off by too much, and make that the side that I decide to divide into fifths. So just be, we get to see how close we came. Oh, I was heavy by, what did I say, 57, so 5 grams. So I will just make this one my divide into 5. The other way you can do it is 5 grams isn't very much. You can just peel off a little bit. I did feel that one spot where it was thick. That was probably 5 grams right there. So what I'll do is just, at the beginning of this, it looked a little thick to me too. So I'll just take this off the beginning here, and I will add it. Because if you're 5 grams off, you don't need to put 5 grams over here. You just need to put like 2 grams over here. So now we are at, this one's 58 grams, which is perfect. So we're gonna put that one off to the side. And now I'm gonna divide this, starting at this end, into fifths. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of opening this up as far as I can so I can get a good eyeball on it. Here is my first fifth, and I'm gonna weigh this one to see how close we are. So the first one was 58, so this one was 56, and that's roughly 11 grams, should be each fifth. So we are going to see if I'm even in the neighborhood. Well, that's pretty good. That's between 9 and 10, so I'll take it. And now I just have to divide this into fourths, what's left here, which makes life a lot easier. Here I have my fifth, which is gonna be, I think, a little fat, but you know what? It doesn't actually matter. I mean, it matters a little bit, but it's gonna be fine because the total weight of this is still half the other one, so you're not gonna have a big mismatch when you're 2-plying. It's just whether or not you're gonna have a slightly longer color repeat on one of them. So I think this is gonna be lovely. So we have our 5 now. I've got one that's 13, 12, this one I think was 12, 11, 10, and this one was 10, right? 11. All right, so we got those, and then this. So now you can have a better visualization of what this is gonna be like. So this is gonna be one of our singles for our 2-ply, and this is gonna be one. So of course, and I always put my top in like this, so I always go from the same end when I do this. If you see, I do it the same way on every single one. I tuck it in the center. That way I never forget, even if it doesn't matter what direction I'm spinning, I always do it the same way. So this is a lot thicker than this one. So you can see that this is gonna spin shorter color repeats. So those are gonna be dispersed throughout the longer color repeats. And it's gonna look really cool. So let's get this on the wheel. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's sunny and 65 with a gentle breeze. So I have abandoned all other plans and we're gonna spin this fractal now. Look at how beautiful it looks in the sunlight. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna grab my first little nest out of the basket. How shiny this looks in the sun. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. I have to decide what I wanna make with this. I'm not really sure. Tencel does not require as much twist as Merino does. Let's see what we wanna make here. Let me see what this feels like it wants to be. It wants to be kind of thin. Merino always wants to be thin in my world. All right, so we're gonna, yeah, I like this. Whatever this is, I like it. So let's see what we get here. And this is around a 32 on here. Could be 26, I guess. I think that it's just an estimate anyways, but it's probably more like a 32. And here is my ply back, and I can see that I don't have enough ply in that. I don't have enough twist in this, so I need a little more twist. You can see that. And that is, if we looked at the angle of ply, the angle of twist on the ply back test, it's pretty low. Remember, we're looking at the S quadrant here because even though I'm spinning Z singles, we're looking at this. Oh yeah, that's less than 15, so more twist is required. That's better. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, that's right about 30. Might be 25. I could do with a smudgent more. I do need more twist. So I think what I'll do is I have it in my larger whirl. I'm just going to knock it down to my smaller whirl. Put just a touch more tension on that. Let's see how we do with this. Yeah, I think that'll be lovely. That is going to be the thing right there. I can't believe how gorgeous this day was. Yesterday it was like rainy and 50, and
I was willing to take that. I was like, rainy and 50, I'll take it. But today is like a real spring day. Oh, look at this. Oh, here's what I want. This is what I want right here. Look at this. That is very pretty. That's a beautiful angle of ply. Everything is on my right-hand side today. Let me reach over here and get it. And I'm holding everything with my right. Okay. Let's see what we have here. That is spot on 30 now. Hard to sometimes to tell when it's the same color, but I like that. That is great. So my ply back test is right at the 30 degrees. You can see it right there. We're going to try to stick around that 26 mark. That's what we're going to go for. All right, let's do this. I forgot to check my WPI on my ply back just to give me an idea what I'll be looking at here. So this says that it's going to be a 14, and there might be some blooming. So I think we'll be in that 12 sport weight range. So sport weight it is. So today, this morning, well, I'll tell you this story. Yesterday, now where should we start? Let's start at the beginning, which was I recently discovered the Restaurant Depot, which is a store that supplies restaurants all their foods, their meat and desserts, like already frozen, ready-made desserts, ready-made cookie batter, ready-made cookies, just everything, pots, pans. So I went to get bags for shipping to like put my bats in because the bags that I had ordered were a little bit too small and I didn't want them to compress it so much. So I got bigger bags and I can just fold them over and put my label on. And a friend of mine had them and I said, "Oh, where'd you get those?" And he said, "The Restaurant Depot." And I was like, "What's that?" Well, I'm not a restaurant. I can't go. He said, "They don't care. As long as you have a business license, a trader's license, you can go." And I was like, "Cool." So I applied online and they said, bring a copy of your business license. And I was like, awesome. So we drove the hour to get there into Baltimore City yesterday. And I got there and I showed it to them. It was on my phone. I had the digital file and I said, here's the file. Do you have, so much I can email it to you to upload it? And they were like, we don't do that. I was like, what? So they would not let me in. They would not let us do it. And so we had to drive the whole way home and I was super disappointed. And then we went back today. This time I took the paper copy with me and it was awesome. Oh my gosh, this place was crazy. But I got this giant wooden paddle. So if you ever seen my scouring videos, I have a 100 quart crab pot with like this massive butane tank underneath of it. I mean, it sounds like a rocket taking off, and I use it to scour wool. And I didn't have anything that could reach down in there, and so I've been using a lacrosse stick, which I thought was pretty ingenious of me. But now I don't need a lacrosse stick because I got this massive wooden paddle. When I was checking out, the cashier was like, "Is this a canoe paddle?" But it's so awesome because it will reach down to the bottom. I'm really excited. I was like, it was like the best find. I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. And then, of course, for my son, I got him like an 80 pack of waffles that was like $12. And I was like, that's cool. What else has been happening with me? Oh, the other new and exciting thing was Finn is in puppy class, and he's in Puppy 101, and he graduates hopefully next Saturday, or I guess this Saturday now. And this was the first time yesterday that they let the puppies play together because it's always been, you stay away from all the other dogs, and you can't let them interact. And they would let us into class one at a time. We'd leave class one at a time. And yesterday, we were allowed to take their collars off, and they just played. It was like pandemonium. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. It was adorable. And the funniest part was Finn is the same age as the other puppies, and he was ginormous compared to all the other ones, even the labs. We just weighed him, and he is almost 45 pounds. So that was cool. He had a really good day yesterday. Hopefully, he'll pass the test, and we'll get to go on to Puppy 102. I'm going to progress on here just a little bit, and we will do a bobbin check-in here in just a minute. Now we are all in the shade. It looks so much better. This is the bobbin check-in. I spun the first fifth of that second single, and look at that. It's looking good. I'm loving the colors are staying so pretty. I will show you the bobbins, and you'll be able to see the difference between the longer and shorter repeats, I think, on the bobbins.
Here we have the two bobbins. The bobbin on the left is the one with the longer repeats, and the bobbin on the right is the shorter, and you can see the difference in them here. And we're going to ply these together, and it should give us a lovely fractal spin. All right, we are ready to ply. Let's get this started. I always wonder how my tension's going to go when I start this. Good. Looks like it's going to be great. I just need to open up my yarn here so I can get my fingers in. Here we are. Stop and take a quick look, make sure my twist is coming along here. Yeah, that needs a little more twist, I think. I just realized I left my lap blanket downstairs. So we have, it's around 15. I want it to be more. I don't want it to fall apart. I want it to have a nice look to it here. So when you're two-plying, you keep the yarn parallel. If you separate your yarn apart from each other, and you come in at a steeper angle, or I should say a angle that's more like this, you bring them from opposite sides of your body, you're going to hold one straight and then the other one will wrap around it, and that gives you a different style. We'll have to, that's what I do when I spin thick and thin, or when I spin bobbles, and we'll have to show you that. I don't think I've done a bobble one in a long time, if ever, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll have to I'll have to look back and see if I did. Maybe we'll put that on the list. I'm still thinking about fold singles too. I want to show you guys how to do that. I put up a little poll last summer when I was in the mood to do fold singles, and everybody was like, nah, we want to see cable ply instead. Let's see if this is improving here. Oh, this is looking so pretty. I really am enjoying this already. I should probably go get my lap blanket so you guys can see it. It's hard to see. Yeah, that looks nice. Look at that. Oh. Let's see what our angle ply is here. Let's check it out. Let's see. Yeah, that's more like it. Yep, I like it. That's 30, right on the money. Right on the money. Okay. And part of what makes this easy is you had enough twist in the single. If you don't have enough twist in the single when you have merino, it will break, and it can be really frustrating, and the yarn will fall apart. You have to have enough energy in it so that when you spin it back the other direction, it doesn't fall apart. And that is why we do the ply back test, because that'll give you a good idea of what it's going to look like as a balanced yarn when it's plied. You're letting that energy from the single twist back on itself, which shows you how much energy it has stored in it. So when you ply it, it will look very similar to what your ply back test looked like. I'm going to keep on plying here, and then I will see you back in a few minutes.
I am super behind this week, so I wanted to have this posted this morning, which is Saturday morning. If everything goes in my favor, I will have this up tomorrow morning with hopefully the finished yarn. But I still have to go to puppy graduation class today and some other things, so hopefully I'll be able to finish this up really quick, and I will be right back in the blink of an eye. Here we have our finished yarn. I love it. It looks so nice. And we are at a WPI 11, which is right around a sport weight. Usually I think 12 is a sport weight, so we might be a little bit closer to DK weight, but it's definitely close. I love it. It's spun very consistently. Everything is nice, and I like our angle of ply that we ended up with. You can see that nice sheen. And oh, let's open up the whole way so you can see. So here we are with the fractal, and you can see that there is some barber pulling through here, and then where the colors hit for that short repeat, some of them will be solid. What fractal spinning does is it decreases the amount of color pooling. A lot of times when you spin a hand-dyed braid, hand-dyed top, you'll end up with some areas when you knit where you'll have a block of solid color, and so you get this area of like a puddle of color called pooling, and the fractal spin will prevent that from happening. Something else that I wanted to show you was here is our fractal spin, and you can see that there's barber pulling throughout. And then I had a little piece left over here, and I did this as a chain ply, 3-ply, and you can see that this is very nice and solid colors and very stripy. And so when I knit this up or weave this up, it will be a stripe, a very nice defined stripe. Looks quite lovely. And you can see there's virtually no barber pulling in this compared to this, where we can see all the colors mingling together through here. Just to show you how different preps can make your yarn turn out differently. I think that this is going to knit up very nicely. Let's try to take a peek of this outside in the sunlight. I wanted to get out in the daylight here. It's actually crazy weather. It is flurrying right now. I can't believe it. Let's see if you can see our flurries out here. Isn't that crazy? It's flurrying. Let's go in a little closer here and see if we hit our sport weight. Okay, well, now it's really coming down, so we're gonna finish this up quickly before my yarn gets all wet. So here we have it, and I'm just gonna slide this in. And we are looking at about an 11 right here. I like that. I like it a lot. I think it's a little too thick for the 12. So, but that's really in the sport weight area. So I think 11 is really the answer here. So I will see you guys next time. Until then, spin happy.